We have a mic.
Hello, Todd. I'm Fred Coker. I'm from Avon. I had a couple of thoughts about sort of the state of, quote, the people in this country. I don't know whether you've watched any of the man on the street interviews in the last month or two, particularly as it relates to the debt issue and so forth. But I can tell you, there are a lot of smart people in this country, and a lot of them right now are focused on what, let's see, what's her name, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Oprah is lamenting about. People very focused on that. People very focused on Dancing with the Stars. But if you ask a lot of people, and again, these are intelligent people, whether they're focused on what the GDP is and how that affects them personally, there's a complete disconnect, in my opinion, between the talking heads in Washington and the people in the street. And that is I think that's the major political issue that all of you guys have to take on down there. For example, it would be instructive, I think, for the average person to understand what the price of a quart of milk would be way out there at the end of that red curve that you just put up. It's going to be $100 a bottle. If so, who's going to pay for it? Where's the money going to come from? And I think that in general, simple examples for people to get their minds around how this is going to affect them personally would make a big difference in terms of what, quote, the people think. I mean, I hear Mrs. Pelosi talk about she's going to speaking for the people. Well, I don't know whether she speaks for the people or not. I don't know whether Mr. Boehner does. I don't know whether the people in the Senate do. But I can tell you that when the light of day hits the people in the end, there's going to be huge trouble in this country unless the politicians can learn how to communicate in a way that people can accept. So that's my statement. It's something for you to think about. And then I had a question for you. Do you accept congratulations on having been elected to the Congress of the United States? Or do you accept sympathy for having been So answer that question, I'll let you go.
I will say that being Indiana Secretary of State for 8 years was the highest honor and privilege of my life to serve this entire state, and the youngest one ever elected to do it. This is a very close second, and it's not because it's not because it's the type of work. When you're in the executive branch of the government, you can usually yell something, and it usually happens. Ask Mitch. This is a much different animal, and it's an excellent leadership challenge. And I think more people need to, at whatever level. I'm not asking for primary or general election opponents, but competition is a good thing. We need more people involved. This is a high honor privilege because of the issues that we have a chance to solve. I promised myself I'd come in here certain I'd be a happy warrior, and I don't mean to be doom and gloom. But if we can take this challenge on, like Americans before us took their challenge on, we can whip this thing. We can do it. I promise. But it's going to take, like you're saying, all of us to stop the demagoguery, get together, and pull the oar in the same direction. Next question, please. I got to take this slide.
Hey, Todd. I'm Tony Jacob from Avon, and I've got 2 young daughters, 7 and 4, and that's an analogy. So there's my picture. And I want to thank you for fighting for the balanced budget amendment. But something's missing here. Why is it so difficult? I try to think of this myself. Why is it so difficult for people in Washington to do the right thing? How hard is it?
No, we talk about this daily, and I thank you for your question. There's a lot of different agendas, and I think honestly, there's people that I work with day in and day out. They, in their mind, just like you, there's a vision for what is the right thing, and we are at a crossroads in this country. If I can take your question just a little bit more broadly than you asked it, but I still think my answer is you tell me I'm wrong. We got to decide who we're going to be, and it's natural. We do this as a people every once in a while. But we got to decide if we're going to be more like the social democracies of Europe, or we're going to be more like the country and government that we've had. that made us the last best home hire that they called. And every day I see that being fought. And there's a group of people who believe, honestly believe, that at just about every turn, a big government or government program can make a better decision for individuals than individuals can. And there's another group of people who believe exactly the opposite. It's very schizophrenic. They believe that individuals at nearly every turn can make better decisions for themselves, their neighbors, their families, their churches, than any faraway bureaucrat or government program or social engineer can. And so when people say, let's compromise, that's what they're asking to compromise on. And I don't know if you've got diametrically opposed viewpoints like that. I haven't seen how to do that. And really it's going to be up to you all. And who you send and how you voice yourself as to who we're going to be in the future. I'm part of the group, if you don't know, I'm part of the latter group. I believe in individual freedom, I believe that's what the Constitution dictated. And I don't think that's a document that should be changed much 27 times in 200 years. But I do believe because we can't, Congress can't solve this budget problem, I do think a balanced budget is a way to do that. Spend only on the revenues that you take in, nothing more. We'd stop the bleeding if we did something like that, even if it took 5, 7, 10 years to get it through the states. As a former statewide office holder, I have much better trust the states to do the right thing. Our voice would be letting us decide through our General Assembly and through referenda if we want to have that amendment to live within our means. It's a wonderful first step.